Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. Today I want to talk about something serious. Are you physically able to handle the sexual activity that's waiting for you when you get over here? But before I do that, good morning to my subscribers in the Philippines. Good evening to my subscribers in America and beyond. I also like to give a special welcome to my new viewers and new subscribers. Thank you so much for stopping by. Everybody, thank you for your kindness, your generosity, your support of my channel. I really appreciate that. I'm not a know-it-all, and if I ever come off like that, I apologize. I'm just trying to be helpful. My 11 years here does give me a unique perspective, though, and I like to share that with you to make your trip here more enjoyable and, above all things, more safer. I'm boots on the ground. I'm right in the center of all this. It's for your benefit. Don't live around the edges like a lot of these other vloggers that you see living in these fancy resorts and in these fancy towers in Makati and Cebu. I live among the locals, and I'm always going to give you the nitty-gritty. That's just exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, and what I'm experiencing. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It's not going to start today. I'm going to get right to it, guys. Look, the women over here, they don't have a lot of the sexual hang-ups that the women in America have. And I'm going to speak for America because I only know about America. And I know we're one of the most conservative countries in the world, on the planet, when it comes to sex. A naked body still intimidates us over there. But when you get over here, man, something different is waiting, And I just want to make sure that you're ready for it. See, a Filipina, she's smart, she's intelligent, she's down to earth. She's in touch with nature. She realizes, like a lot of other people, that sex is just as natural as breathing. All right, and she looks at it as her obligation. So, she's never going to tell you no. Okay, and that's something that we're not used to. You're never going to have to beg her, for anything special, or the things that we have to beg our wives and girlfriends for in America. We usually get on our birthdays, holidays, Christmas. Well, hell, every day's your birthday over here. But enough men come over here and die from having sexual relations with these young women that I have to mention it, guys. Look, and I'm not blaming the young lady. So, Filipinos, I'm not bashing you. I'm blaming the men, because you're not ready. You're not physically able. Your mind tells you you are, but your body gives out. It's something totally different, because we don't go to the doctor. And look, it don't just happen to foreigners. When I told my girlfriend what I was going to talk about today, she said, well, it happens over here all the time. She said, you read about it or you hear about it, they found some older guy in the hotel. He done died of they call it cardiac over here, I think. Cardiac arrest, from dealing with one of these young girls, thinking that, he's able to do something when he's not. It was one guy, and I talk about this from time to time. Remember, 88.1% of my viewers are men, and 100% of you are coming over here to see a woman. 95% of you met her online. And I know what you want. I don't care if you're a Joe or a John. I know what you want when you come over here. So from time to time, I bring this subject up, because there was a gentleman, he came over here, he was 58. His Filipino wife, to be, was 20 or 21. I think she's 21. Well, he comes over here for his first 2 weeks. They get married, have sexual relations, he dies. She has to go on social media, asking for donations, to cremate him, which is sad, because he was an American. I don't know if she contacted the embassy, because that's one thing they want you to do. If something like that happens to you over here, guys, you got to leave word with your girlfriend and your family back home to contact the U.S. Embassy here, or consulate, immediately. Now, they don't have any programs. They're not going to help fly your body back home. That's a whole nother story, and I'll discuss that a little later. But see, it's sad that you would die over here and then they cremate you and, scatter your ashes here, and your family doesn't know any better. Okay, so when you come over, let your family know where you are. Remember, I gave you that suggestion because everything I talk about, guys, is just suggestions. We're grown men, we're grown adults. I can't tell you what to do. I just give you suggestions of what you may want to do. That STEP program. Remember the Smart Travelers Enrollment Program that's free to us. All you have to do is enroll. No matter where you are, it's free for U.S. citizens and U.S. nationals traveling abroad. It just gets you in contact with the embassy, with the consulate, where you're going. I mean, it's a great program. They don't snoop in your business. They just know where you are, you know, in case of emergency or anything like that. And that's considered an emergency, guys. But know what you're walking into over here. Remember, I say, hey, you know, get a physical before you come over here. You probably haven't had a physical in a long time anyway. And if you're going to get the physical, get it about 3 months out before your trip. That way, if something comes back, the doctor has time to prescribe you a plan of action. You know, you can get better. Or he may say, hey, don't make that trip. Okay? But get it about, you know, 3 months out. Also, you know, you want to make sure that your life insurance policy, that you have one, number one. And number two, that it's current. You know, because you try to fly your body back to the United States, it's probably going to cost about $7,000. When I looked it up, it said anywhere from $7,000 to $30,000. But, you know, I'm going to go on the low end. You know, you're talking about $7,000. Man, that's a lot of money. Your family's already going to be upset that you passed, and then now you strap them with that financial burden. Because I'm going to tell you, man, you know, what happens over here to the foreigners when they die over here, man. The people here, out of their tradition, out of their culture, they'll just cremate you, man, you know, and scatter your ashes, you know, and go on about their business. And that's no knock on the Filipino. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, you know, and on that note, you know, if you want to plan for something like that over here, because look, guys, you know, I'm not trying to spook anybody. I'm not trying to, you know, because we get superstitious when we start talking about death. I'm an insurance agent, man. Been doing this for 18 years, coming up on 18 years. I know what I'm talking about. I know how funny people get, especially men, when it comes to talking about insurance or talking about death, man. But women, you know, they're more in touch with reality than we are. They don't have a problem with it. But this is something that you really need to think about. I don't care if you're coming over here for 2 weeks, 2 years, or for the rest of your life. You know, you need to make sure you got some insurance coverage that's going to cover you. Otherwise, they're going to cremate you here and then scatter your ashes, man. And that's going to be that. You know, make sure you got health insurance. If you coming over here your initial time for 2 weeks, a month, whatever it is, work that travel insurance into your budget. Because your private insurance is no good over here. Yeah, it's good in Guam, like I reminded you before. Your Medicare is good in Guam over there. But if something really happens to you and you need it right away, you want to have that travel insurance. Even the basic policy is better than nothing. You know, let's get responsible. And why I'm talking about that, because see, I specialize in Medicare health plans, okay? So if you got original Medicare and you're coming over here to the Philippines and you decide, hey, I'm going to stay, I'm going to be an expat. One piece of advice, do not stop paying your Part B premium, okay? If you're still paying it, because in some cases, the government, depending on your income, they'll pay that for you, but don't stop paying that. Don't drop that, you know, because a lot of people say, well, I can keep that money and spend it over to the Philippines. No. You don't want to do that, because once you drop that Part B, you can only get it back certain times of the year, and then from the day you drop it to the day that you get it, you're going to incur a 10% penalty, and you're going to pay that for the rest of the time you're on Medicare. Okay. Also, you got to realize it's Medicare A and B. A is mainly your inpatient care, guys. Part B is your outpatient. 95% of all procedures are outpatient now. Your doctor visits, specialist, ambulance, emergency room. It's all Part B. Keep that. Because if you do want to go to Guam and you want to see a specialist or you want to get a physical or something, you need your Part B. And you worked your whole life for it, man. Medicare is a great policy by itself. Same with your supplement, man. Keep that supplement because, if you let that go, then guess what? When you go back to try to get it, they're going to look at all your medical history. You're going to be older. It's going to cost you more. The policy you got now may not even be available anymore. Okay? So you're not going to be able to go back and get it. So it's very important. Same with your prescription drug plan, guys. Listen to me. Make sure you get, if you're going to come over here as an expat, make sure you have at least 3 months prescriptions, 3 months supply of prescriptions. Bring the prescriptions with you. Then you get your local doctor here, okay? Excuse me. Show her the prescriptions, she's going to tell you. You can even get a copy of your medical records and bring with you. If you were smart, if you're really going to prepare right, because prescriptions here, even though your coverage is not going to be available here, prescriptions here are very, very cheap, man. My girlfriend had to go get a prescription for clonazepam. That's like a generic for volume. They were 10 cents each. It's like that. Of course, she needed a prescription, ID, and all that, but, don't let that prescription drug plan lapse, man, because there's ways around that. You can still have your people at home order it and send it to you in the U.S. mail. Even though you don't see mailmen running around here, if somebody sends you something through the mail, you're going to get it, So hold on to all of that insurance and stuff, guys, okay? Now, keep your life insurance, keep your health insurance, because it's very limited over here. You can get some stuff, because the average funeral over here is going to cost about 20,000 pesos, not quite 500. Same with a, and that's an all-in-one plan. That's what the typical Filipino that I'm around, that's what they pay, because they can't afford anymore. And that's all-in-one. That gives you that they call it an apartment tomb, where they stack them on top of each other. Because over here, man, they're smart. They don't put them bodies in the ground anymore. A lot of times when you go past a funeral home, a cemetery here, the bodies are outside, they're on top of the land in this concrete tomb, and it includes that. It's about 20,000. Then cremation's another 20,000 pesos. But if you're trying to fly back home, it's going to be about $7,000. That's a lot of money, man. Recently, a gentleman who comes over here to the Philippines every year. He's from my hometown in Louisville, Kentucky, as a matter of fact. He was 78 and he died. But his body was over here. He died in August. His body was over here for like 3 or 4 months, before their family was able to get him back home, man. You don't want that burden on your family, guys, But again, make sure you're physically able to handle the sexual activities waiting for you over here, man. These women are young, they're in great shape, because remember I told you, they're in shape by virtue of their daily activities of living, man. You try to sit down and wash clothes 2 or 3 hours a day, see how much endurance you got. Can you handle that? They walk everywhere, a lot of them do. Hanging up the clothes, wringing them out, cooking, cleaning, watching the kids. Man, these women are in excellent, excellent shape, guys, because they're small in stature and everything. You come over here, your mind tells you you're ready, man, but your body gives out on you, man. It happens enough that I have to bring it up, guys. I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm not trying to be crash or anything like that. I'm looking out for your best interest, but that's the least of the things you got to worry about, man. You coming over here, man, you cross that international time zone, man, your body's going to start acting crazy, man. Constipation, you're dealing with a new climate over here. It's hot over here, guys, and running in and out of the air to the hot to the air. It's not good, man. It's not good on your body. The food is different here. The water is different, guys. And then you put on top of that this beautiful young lady that's never going to tell you no. Every time you get into the mood, it's right there for you, man. You better be physically able, man. Otherwise, you're going to end up like so many guys. It doesn't make the paper over here. It doesn't make the news. They'll say, oh, he died of a heart attack. Yeah. with a smile on his face. He went to glory with a smile on his face, guys. This is serious. I'm not making jokes. So get a physical, man. Make sure that you in good shape when you come over here, because most of you are going to have sexual relations when you get over here. Don't fool yourself. I'm not stupid. You don't come to the Philippines, for a tennis tournament. You don't do it. I know why you're here. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. What two consenting adults do, it's nobody else's business. But be responsible about it. And I'm not preaching. I'm not talking down. I'm coming to you from a place, brotherhood, from support, man. Okay? Make sure your life insurance is up to date. One of my subscribers said he's seen plenty of guys have heart attacks the minute they get off the plane and die. Okay? It's going to cost your family $7,000 to fly you back. Otherwise, the Filipino people, if you got $500 in your pocket, your girlfriend's going to take it and she's going to have you cremated and spread your ashes here in the Philippines. If something happens, have her contact the U.S. Embassy or your family back home. Join the SMART program. The STEP program, the Smart Travelers Enrollment Program. That's why they call it the Smart Travelers Enrollment Program. Get connected with that local consulate, that local embassy, wherever you're going, whether it's the Philippines or whatever. Okay, hold on to your Medicare Part B. Hold on to your prescription plan. Hold on to your supplement, guys. Anything can happen over here, and it usually does. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by. Again, I can never repay you for your love, your kindness, your generosity, your support. You've given me a purpose, man. And I'm going to keep on doing this as long as my vlogs are useful, as long as they're helpful. So if in America it's getting late, before you let your head hit the pillow, please help somebody. If you don't want them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, you coming home from work, on the second shift, and you see somebody out there in the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a couple of dollars. For Christ's sake, man, it's a pandemic, okay? People are literally starving over here, so if you're in the Philippines, it's early. It's very, very important that we help somebody over here, because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID-free, and I'll see you next time.